you discover now that even the place where you are is a starting point to the next level. The moment you make it an end point, you stop growing. And so when you think with the philosophy of a starter, that is why a lot of great companies are called startups. And you are seeing a company that you are calling a startup is $1 billion company, but it is still called what? Startup. One of the philosophy of Steve Jobs is that he said, I still run Apple as a startup. That's why it's almost 3 trillion now in value. Nvidia, almost 3 trillion in value. But they are still running it with the mentality of what? Starting up. Because anything that is no longer starting is already dying. Any life no longer starting is already dying. So where you are is good enough as a starting point. God was talking to Abraham in Genesis 13 verse 14 down. He said what? And the Lord said unto Abraham, after Lot was separated, lift up your eyes down from whence thou art. So maybe you trek to this place. It's good enough. I think I was driving down with my big bros. And he mentioned somebody. Say, hey, this person is going this direction and he doesn't have a car. I said, he's been in Abuja all this while, he doesn't have a car. The question I asked, why? You know, to me, it shocked me. Why? How can you be around here and say he doesn't have a car? I might have been in this land for almost 10 years. I said, somebody may think I'm not feeling for them. To me, I can't understand why. And by the time we go through our conversation, you know why I don't understand why. And somebody will not be saying, why not? You see now, it's a tale of two perspectives to life. It's a tale of two what? Perspectives. It's a look from where you are, northward. Look from where you are, southward, eastward, westward. For all the land you can picture, I've given to you. So where Abraham was, for God, was enough starting point for him to be able to drive. Therefore, the third point you must speak, I'm still building my case gradually. I'm building my case that there is no secret to success. That it should enter you. Just show me the secret. No secret, systems. Success runs on systems, not secrets. Even when the Bible says, I have not seen, ear has not heard, neither has it entered the mind of man what God has in store for those that, but God has revealed it. See now. It is the glory of God to consider it, the honor of kings to search out matters. So it's systems. So where you are is enough. The third point that is on that premise that what you have is a good springboard for the next level of your life. Because sometimes people will always say that there are only specific people who are qualified for a great life. So the moment you think that way, you have discounted yourself from anything called great life. Some other people will say, where I am now, the kind of background, this one, my location, this one, if I had come from America, this place is not good enough. You have discounted yourself. Others will not say what? I don't have anything, no. I know that what I need now, if somebody can just find a way to give me 20 million, my life is settled. It's not true. What you have is a good springboard. Do you know that the original word capital doesn't mean money? The original foundational word capital doesn't mean money. It doesn't mean cash. It's enlightenment. That's the word capital. It's enlightenment. That's why when we watch our people, they are doing empowerment campaign and they are sharing money. Say it's empowerment. What manner of empowerment is that? How are the people having the power? You're only raising their appetite and they will squander the money and return back to where they used to be. Because they were never empowered. You know the story in 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 1 and 2, the woman that came to the prophet, now cried the woman of God, one of the wives of the sons of the prophet to Elisha, said, thy servant, thy husband is dead. And that knows that your servant do fear the Lord. You know, we celebrate a lot of leaders, doing great. I said, everything has a lane. Life runs in lanes. There is a lane for health. If you don't understand that lane, you can be so great in every other aspect, but your health can fail you. There is a lane to wealth. You can be very, very anointed and be broke. That does not mean you are not anointed. You are anointed, God's servant, serving the Lord in church. Remember the Bible says you shall serve the Lord your God. He shall bless your bread and your water. Your bread. He shall not give you bread, but your bread. That's another conversation for another day. Somebody saying that because I'm serving God and sweeping church, then I should prosper. You shall bless your bread. You should find a way how to get the bread for the Lord to bless it. You don't say God will give you bread. He shall bless your bread. So most of the time now, you now want to blame God. I do this in church, I do that. That is what the issue here. He said, and you know, the woman was trying to point accusation finger to Elisha. Say, you know that my husband fears God. God, after all this I've been doing in your house. No, it's a lane. There is a lane for service. God takes pleasure when his servants prosper. But doesn't mean that you are serving, that's why you should prosper. He is happy that his servants are prospering. But that doesn't mean that because you are serving, you will prosper. I'm knocking something off from someone's mind. Why am I not? Why is this person that is not serving God? No, prosperity and wealth creation is a lane. Good marriage is a lane. So any lane you don't understand and you don't walk on, you miss it. So Elisha now had to tell her in verse 2, and Elisha said unto her, what shall I do for you? Tell me, what do you have in your house? And she said, your handmaid had not anything. You see now, I said, what you have is a good springboard. Meanwhile, all these years, that thing they called nothing was still in the house. And people are busy, always thinking, if I can get this or get that. No, if you can look inside, you will discover yourself. It's already what inside? He said, your handmaid had not anything in the house. Hey, save a pot of oil. So the first is that we don't have anything. And so when you don't have anything, it moves you to begin to have what they call learned helplessness syndrome. You have learned how to be helpless or become totally dependent. And thinking. We were talking with one of the leaders, the bishops, and he was talking about, the president of America that called Africa some certain things. I said, I'm not offended. If he said Africa is, call us anything. I said, the best is that everybody repatriate and say, let's build our land. If somebody insults your family, build your family. I said, I don't feel insulted about anything. Simple. That's why I don't even get time and energy to the patrol embassies. No. I don't have that energy. Go there begging up and down and all manner of stuff. I did where I did. When doors open, we do what we got to do in ministry. I was talking to somebody with all sense of humility. I said, how will I move here to United Kingdom and now go and live in one-bedroom apartment? No, if I'm going to move to those places, I must move with the same quality of life I have now. The same quality of life I have now. The kind of house I must move with the same quality. I can't go there now and be in squalor. I can't go there and be in squalor. I better visit and return back. So the people around you, the talent you have, your training, the liquidity you have, the opportunities around you is enough. I'm laying some things. We're going to, as we go ahead over the months, you're going to catch it. So it's enough. But the difference is in the philosophy. Now, where you are is enough. What you have is enough. But the difference now, what makes the difference now is in the philosophy. Have you discovered that two individuals will be given the same condiment to cook? One will cook potty. Another person will cook a delicious meal. The same condiment. You know the difference? Philosophy. How somebody will now look at the same condiment and combine it. And by the time they combine it, you are licking your hands. Another person, they told me about somebody that chopped tomatoes and threw it inside. I don't want to talk about the person. No, the person is somewhere outside. The person's name begins with alphabet between A and the tomato is almost like throwing a whole tomato inside the pot. Praise God. Now, but the condiments are there. but what? The philosophy. So the difference is in the philosophy. And philosophy is what I call thought pattern. Thought pattern is different from thought flashes. Even a rich man, same occasion, the flash of poverty can flash. But that doesn't mean it's a thought pattern. Even a poor person can somehow one day just feel one kind, oil or flash in his mind. Wow, I am wealthy. I am going out today to go and work. Do some. But it's only for one day. It is not the flash that enters your mind that matters. It's the pattern of your life. The pattern of your life. That is what Solomon declared. He said, for as he thinketh. Mark that word. It's not as he thought. Or as he would think. As he thinketh, thinks. He thought, he is thinking, he will keep on thinking. That when you wake up in the midnight, it is still part of your life. Even in the midst of, there is no cash in your pocket. Let me use Ishoba word. No cash in your pocket. It has not affected the temperature and the thing. I told somebody, if too much money or little money changes you, there was nothing with you in the first place. You see me today, account balance can be zero. I'm still here. It can be anything up there. I'm still there. Too much or nothing, it doesn't change me. It's a pattern. Because wealth is not in the bank account, it's in the mind account. It's in the mind account. As he thinketh, so is he. Keep your hearts with all diligence, for out of it. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23, NLT. Above all else, guard your heart, for it affects everything you do. I love Good News Translation. Be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. And the only thing that frames your thoughts are the words that you hear. The only thing that frames your thoughts are the words. By the time we are done today, some of you, your taste bud for goodness will change. Yeah, you started. There are some people that I don't know how they take all those their bitters and all those. There are some people that bitter thing is not sweet in their mouth. They crave for bitter things. Their taste bud has been damaged. That bitter now is sweet. I don't know how those bitters companies make market. Because someone like me, you have lost market. I can bitter. Somebody and somebody is smiling, man. It means that the taste it has been damaged. There are people that situation has so damaged them that even when we want to rescue them from that damage, they like it. There was a story I heard about a guy who spent 21 years in prison. The moment he was released, he committed crime again. They said, why? He said he doesn't know what a free life is like. So he likes prison. Why? Prison has left his body and entered his mind. Has left his body and entered his mind. So when you begin to change your philosophy, it will help you to sail from ordinary to extraordinary. When you say ordinary life is common, extraordinary is going beyond the usual. And it's only extra that is added. The ordinary is the substrate. And so I would just want to drop it, then I'll be talking in that direction. When we are done, you can ask any question you want to ask. Some of the 5 extras you need to add on your ordinary to turn to become an extraordinary. It's extra. I'm not here to teach you the basics. It's just to add little extra. Some 5 extra you need to add in any ordinariness so that you can turn it into extraordinary. Number 1 extra is the extra of being intentional in anything you do. Intentional. Be intentional. Be intentional in anything you do. The first extra is being intentional. I have discovered that everyone that succeeds is always intentional. No success is accidental. Everyone that succeeds has a program. You watch countries, they tell you we have a 50-year growth plan. Germany is trying to play football. They say we now have a growth plan from the academy to this, that every World Cup, our target is to reach semifinals. That's the blueprint of every World Cup, their target is to reach semifinal. That's their target, at least reach, because the moment you are in that last 4, the chances of winning the cup is there. Meanwhile, we assemble our team 6 months before the World Cup. In Africa, we have the highest grade of talent in sports. But the only thing, we don't know the science of sports. Talent is never enough. Talent is limited. Skill is what sells in the market. Skill is polished talent. To the degree you polish your talent will determine the market value. But in Africa, everything we export is talent. Our crude oil, raw talent. Talent is what you are given by divinity. Coal, raw talent. Cocoa, raw talent. Skill is chocolate. Skill is what? Chocolate. Talent is cocoa. Talent is the lemon. Skill is the lemonade. And whoever polishes the talent determines the market value. That's why the Bible says a lazy man does not roast what he gets from hunting. Talk about it towards the end of our conversation. How will somebody go to hunt, struggle and suffer, and after suffering, that's because he did not now turn the meat to suya. God called him lazy. Because talent is overrated. And what we celebrate in Africa is just what? Talent. Raw talent, raw footballers, but the science of football. It's a different ball game. That's what keeps Ronaldo there. Science of football. So you watch out, you must be intentional. Every towering destiny begins with an intent. Deliberate, consensuous thoughts about how big you want your life to become. So the question is, how do you want your life to tower? Every towering destiny, you must begin with an intention. In Luke chapter 14, verse 28, it says, for which of you intending to build a tower? So towers are not wished into existence. Towering relationship, towering finances, you must sit down and intentionally intend it. Now, one of the biggest undoing of anybody's life is to be a drifter and hoping that luck is going to meet you one day. Just be hoping that one day, things go better. The last time I checked, there's no day called one day in the week. One day. I normally say it because of the virtues we have in Christianity, which is hope. In the world of world creation, hope is not a strategy. You don't hope that things will be better. You make a decision to become better. So the question is, how intentional are you about building what God or what you desire? Which of you intending to build a tower does not first sit down? So the first issue is what now? Intentional. So stop playing around and stop being a joker and get serious with life. Esau was not serious about his birthright. That is why he lost it. He was not serious about it. The father wanted to give it to him. But when they came, he said, what is the use of this birthright to me? Intangible. What does it mean? Like somebody who says School of Destiny, what does it mean? I already know what is going on. They are only waiting for one miracle service. That they will pour oil on them and suddenly they will not go somewhere. Somebody will not meet them along the road. What you see on home movie. I say, I like you. Follow me. And they are not open a bag. And give them money. $50,000. Then I say, wow, big testimony. How many of it happens? Can I tell you the truth? In the world of world creation, miracles are worked. You work it. Whatever miracle you intend, you work it. You don't wish it into existence. And the Lord God planted a garden. God did not wish a garden into existence. God doesn't say, I wish a garden. No. God spoke forest, but he planted what? A garden. He planted what? A garden to existence. So any dimension you want, there must be what? An intentionality. You cannot have a towering life, towering economy, towering breakthrough without what? Intending it. So people being casual here is the reason why there are casualties in life. You wake up every day and you just stroll around. You wake up every day, you wish that something is going to go better. No. Because we are so casual about it, that is why life will chew you and spew you out. How do I check that you are intentional about what you want to build? First of all, I want to ask you, how intentional are you about your goals? Now, let me say something now. When you talk about goals, anybody can make any noise. I don't want to talk about it. Instead of, don't set goals. Because a lot of people have misunderstood what goal setting is. You think it's about writing one big thing. I have a goal to beat Ronaldo by 2027. Anybody can write that. I remember when we were in secondary school, one of the guys You know, JS1, JS2, we enter JS3. The guy doesn't read, though. He has not passed well. JS1, JS2, you know, they just move on. You know, JS3, if you don't pass, you're going to repeat. The guy will wear this kind of this Nigerian map on his chest. And he calls himself Inanna. So, others are reading, he said, WAEC or no WAEC, Inanna must be an engineer. You talk to him, WAEC or no WAEC, Inanna must be an engineer. And by the time we wrote junior WAEC, Inanna, that he failed, that he disappeared from the scene. Maybe he has become a mechanic. Maybe that's an engineer now. It depends on. Now, why? He thinks, don't set goals. Can I tell you the right way? Let me give you a new nomenclature. Instead of setting goals, because I've set goals enough, nothing has happened. I notice that goal setting is wrong. Goal setting is right, but I want to change language. Once you change one word in your life, you can change anything. Don't set goals, set sacrifices. So you must sit down and say now, what will I sacrifice? Yeah, it's not about setting goals now. What will I sacrifice? Oh, I want to build a story building. No. I want to do this one. What will I sacrifice? If you can set sacrifices, you will arrive at your goals. So don't set goals anymore. Set sacrifices. And be specific about it. Write down the price you are willing to pay. That's why I said, if you want to build a tower, you must first sit down and count the cost. It's the cost, not the wish about this. You now count the cost. This tower is going to cost me 10 billion. What does it take to produce 10 billion within a year? Divide it by 12. You now know you need to produce 900 or 800 million naira every month. That's a sacrifice. Because the moment you begin to say sacrifice, your goal becomes specific. You begin to say sacrifice, you now know what you are ready to do part time to be able to create it. And when you set it, you speak about them daily. Weave your goals into your conversation. Don't keep your goals one day, you just wake up one day, you meet it. No. Anybody that taps me today will know one thing, that by November 19th, 2027, I will have 20 billionaires around my table. It's a goal that is set, and it's a hard cap. I say it everywhere. I've said it before our father, said it before our mother. They are praying about it. And we are not only doing that, we are putting together systems, structures, operational modalities to make sure it gets done. Else, you call yourself a visionary, but you're a visionary. A lot of people call themselves visionaries, but they are just wishing things into existence. And at the end, we come and blame God as if we served him and we lost out in the things of the kingdom. Don't set goals, set sacrifices. If you set sacrifices, engage in it on a daily basis. The secret of great men is in their daily routine. If I open your daily report card today, I can predict your future. I can. I remember I deal with a lot of believers. One of our young men those days, almost about 15 years ago, several years ago, just came out from campus and all those stuff. And I knew this guy. Well, argument ensued in our city then. Argument ensued. About success. And the guy said, well, let me tell you, within the next 5 to 10 years, I'll be a multi-millionaire. I thought, I said, bro, except if you changed. Maybe when you are crossing River Niger, you will change. But if it is this habit, I don't need to be a prophet. I can predict that you will be a pauper. I said, brother, with this habit, you can't go anywhere. He said, let's bet. I said, there's nothing to bet. Several years after, I'm one of our leaders. We met, and I don't know how he started talking about the story of the guy. He said, you know this guy now? The guy is almost like an atheist. You know what he said? He said, God disappointed him. After all those things that they were doing on campus, God, he's not a free thinker. He's an atheist. He doesn't want to. I said, I won't be surprised. Because people, instead of allowing God to walk through them, they dump everything. Can I tell you the truth? He said, you shall make your way prosperous, and you shall have. Not God, you shall have. You make your way. So if there is no way, make the way. That's why I love one of the things that this guy said. He said, we are also the way makers. So you make your way prosperous. If there's no way, bulldoze on it. So be intentional about your goals. Do you know that it has been proven that if you add 18 minutes every day in anything you are doing, within 1 year, you'll be among the top 20% of the people on planet Earth. 18 minutes. Any field of endeavor, you are putting 18 minutes only. The law of compounded effort. Before you know it, you are going to turn out into something. But people don't have that discipline to be able to get into it. I want to check your intentionality when I look at how intentional you are with your personal development. How intentional you are with your personal life. I wonder, from January till now, which book have you read on finances? From January till now, which book have you read on management? Which book have you read on relationship? From January till now. People just do this, it just came into my head. If everything you are running in your life is common sense, you're going to have a common life. You must allow both dead men and living men walk through you. What do I mean? Through their materials. That when you are talking, it is, as I'm talking now, if I tell you, maybe over 20 persons are talking. From here. I may not know who is now talking, but multiple spirits are talking. That they influence your ideology, influence your philosophy, influence how you do things. So be intentional. Strive hard to become a better version of you. Can I tell you the truth? That place you want to go is not far. That place is within. But it demands a new version of you to arrive there. The version you are now does not qualify. Did you not see what they do? This is our program. They say, who wants to be? Who wants to do what? Be. Not who wants to have. A millionaire is not somebody that has millions in their account. It's the one that has it in the mind count. So who wants to be? You be it. That's why we are called human beings. I normally say that, not human doings. Who wants to be? So personal development, strive hard to become a better version of you. The question is, 5 years from now, you will become someone. But the question is who? 5 years from now. It's either you sit down and make a decision to change. 5 years from now, you are going to become somebody. But the question is who? Who will you become? 5 years from now, you arrive somewhere. But the question is where? So if you don't want to arrive by consciousness, you will arrive by default. Even not making a choice to arrive is already a choice to arrive. So that is why I say the greatest asset you have in this life is your mind. Without your mind, God is incapacitated. Your mind is more important for those of you that are married than your spouse. Do you know without your mind, you can't even serve God well? Anytime they make a statement about you and say, don't mind him or don't mind her, it means your mind is not working. Because people will always mind the person that his or her mind is working. Don't get angry when they say, don't mind him. No, tell yourself, I have to now put something in my mind that they will mind it. It's a choice. It's a choice that we've got to make. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 13 to 15, it says, till I come, give attendance to reading. Till I come, give attendance to reading. The word to read means to make sense of things. Make sense of things. Not just to read the alphabet. My little son, the guy read King James. Where the Bible said, my son, obey the instruction of your father and forget not the law of your mother. My little boy, it was, I think, 4 years or 3 years then. He doesn't know that King James is a senior version. He said, he read the scripture, my son, obey the instruction of your father and forget not the whatever law of your mother. So he now started interpreting. He said, the interpretation, when daddy tells you something, do it. When mommy tells you something, don't do it. Because he had forget. He forgot that the not, after they forget, has cancelled the forget. So he said, when daddy tells you something, do it. When mommy tells you something, don't do it. I say, yes, you are correct. He voted for me. Now, he has read it, but he has not made sense of it. He can. So reading is not going through the alphabets. It's making sense of life. You read men, you read situations, you read environment, you read changes that are happening. Changes that are happening. Just last Sunday, yesterday, I went to one of my proteges. Got a zero mileage, Prado, zero mileage. I prayed for zero mileage. It was brought in a container in Abuja here. And people are crying about money. When people, zero mileage, it was brought in a container and dropped. I prayed for it before I came for the wedding yesterday. In the same city. Listen to me, in Abuja here, we are not here to take sides, so we are here to take over. We will make mess of money. And we will make mess of money, I'm telling you. That's why I'm not interested on who attends this masterclass or not. Whoever attends has the capacity to be changed. I'm telling you. Why people are busy complaining there is no transport money? That fuel is expensive. Somebody just got brand new, zero. Telling stories. They see buildings, 4 billion. Not be person the buyer. Anything that is in the market means that it is buyable. People are buying it, 4 billion, 6 billion, and they are wiring the money everywhere. It simply means that there is enough in the land. There's enough in the land. He said what? Give attendance to reading. Give attendance to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given to thee by prophecy and by the laying hands of the presbytery. Meditate on these things. Meditate. Meditate. Give yourself wholly to them, that your profiting may appear to all. So work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Work harder on yourself than you do on anything. Because if you become it, it can change a lot of things around your life. Jephthah was despised. Normally Jephthah, they say, don't mind him. But he began to process himself in time. And by the time he became a warrior, it was the same people that said, don't mind him, that came back. So I said, one of the mix of extra you must add to move from ordinary to extraordinary is to learn to be what? Intentional. The second one, be smart. The word smart means be witty. In your work, hard workers don't make it, smart workers do. Smart hard workers. When you talk about hard workers, we don't mean that you don't put energy. No, what we mean is that you don't just push against walls without thinking that this is a wall and find a door. Every work requires hard. But you must not direct the hard right. That's what we call smart. So you smartly work hard. Not just you are hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. And syllables are changing in the city. Dimensions are changing in the city. So when you are smart, you are ingeniously clever in conception and execution. Ingeniously clever in conception and execution. There is always a new way to do all things. If I switch it, I say be innovative. Have you not discovered that Jesus never healed any blind man the same way? Check through the scriptures. He did not heal blind. The one, he spat on the floor and put in the eyes. The other one, he just touched him, that I may see. Bartimaeus say, receive your sight. The guy got it. The other one, he laid hands on his eyes. The guy was seeing men as trees. He touched him again. So you check out that he used different patterns to heal one thing. That he was innovative. He never crossed water through one means. The other one, he entered the boat. The other one, he walked on it. There is always a new way to do all things. There is always a new way to do all things. Innovation demands ingenuity, demands cleverness in conception, in doing things. And having what? Insight. And one of the ways to be smart, number one, show up in classes. Show up in classes. I want to tell you, some of you must sign with yourself that from now till the next 1 year, every third Sunday, you will show up in the class. The first thing to do, the first secret of success is show up. Show up. I remember Brian Tracy was telling a story, one of the greatest salesmen that we know. He said during winter, he said that's the best time he sells. He said, you know why? That everybody, because of winter, will stay at home. All the clients will stay at home. And also, all his competitors will stay at home. So those that are going to sell, salesmen will say, the weather is too cold, I will stay at home. Then clients will stay at home. So he will make greatest of sales. Observing the masses and do the opposite. Because the masses go the place of least resistance. Wherever you see everybody going, there's no money there. Wherever you see everybody going, if there is money there, everybody will not survive. Everybody don't do things that create money. That's why everybody will not have money. It's a short story. Everybody will not have money. Because everybody does not want to do what it takes to have money. But everybody can have it. There's no scarcity in divine mind. Observe the masses. Do what? The opposite. So show up in classes. Always be in meetings you are qualified to attend. It's a law that I have in my life. I never miss any meeting I am qualified to attend. Never miss it. For one reason or the other, no. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, no. I find a way to find myself in meetings that I'm qualified to attend. If you must be smart, not only showing up in classes, also evaluate your experiences. Experiences are not the best teacher because there are certain experiences you will not be alive to tell the story. How will you now experience, okay, you want to experience that it is bad to fall from 3-story building before you know it's bad. Then you go to 3-story building and jump down. You know, what are you talking about? I need to experience it to be able to tell the story. You may not be alive to tell the story. So experiences are not the best teacher. Evaluated experiences. So you watch others and evaluate. There's a story, those days we're growing up, day by day English book, about an hare and this rabbit type of a wild rabbit and a lion. So the lion was sick. And so the lion invited the hare to come and, visit it and take care of it or whatever it is. And the hare was trying to rush to go and help the lion. Suddenly it paused to observe the footprints of the animals entering the lion's cave. He discovered that every footprint he saw was all going forward. None was coming backwards. By reading the footprints, he said, every animal went in. They never came out. Every animal went in. It means that if I also, allow me to use this grammar, if I also went in, I will not come out. If I also go in, I will not do what come out. He decided to save his life. A lot of us travel through life with our minds closed. Go through the streets of Abuja, your minds are closed. You only bear it. It is called the spirit of infirmity. People don't know what it is. Spirit of infirmity is not sickness. Search through scriptures, there is no sickness called the spirit of infirmity. You know what? That's what it is. It made a woman to bend like this. For 18 years, she was like this. What does it mean? That the spirit of infirmity makes you not to lift your eyes so you can see beyond the horizon. You are busy. This is my job. Morning, what are you talking about? And wealth is passing left, right, center. I don't know what are you talking about. It's a spirit that keeps people down. Because if you can lift your eyes up, you can see the next horizon. So the question is, you must evaluate what? Experiences. Proverbs 27:12 says, a prudent man foreseeth evil and hideth himself. But the simple goes there and is punished. If you must be smart and witty, beyond evaluating, learn to keep a journal. Learn to write and document things. I like documenting meetings. This is called, I just write. Document journals. Document things. Now let me tell you too. Why do we have the book of Chronicles? Chronicles. What is Chronicles? In Igbo language, it is called Ihe Mere n'Oge Ndị Eze. That is, Chronicles simply means what happened in the days of the kings. That's why if you read the book of 1st and 2nd Kings, it's the same thing with 1st and 2nd Chronicles. So it's kings that keep chronicles. Those with kingly graces. Keep what? Can't you see Africa? What's it called now? Silverbird guy was talking. He said he needed to write some things on Nigerian civil war. Nigerian civil war. He had to go to British archive to go to collect the video of Nigerian civil war. And they told him he's going to pay £1 million to collect it. We fought the war. They documented the war. We fought the war, but we are going to another man's land to collect the documentation of the war that we fought. The habit of not documenting. Do you know how many times God was tapping, what's his name now? John. Right. What John was saying was so big for him. So he will fail into God say, this is right. This is right. So God is telling you, right. No vision can come to manifestation until it is well documented. I had the privilege for this appointment I have. I wrote 14-page white paper thesis. Documented. So when people come and they tell me, come and do this, come and do that, I say, I heard you, but I'm looking at my book. Until I finish implementing what I got on a 30-day mountain, I'm not trying to hear what you got from plate of Eba. Because anybody can come and give you good suggestion, but emotional. You see countries, they have documented plans of how to take over nations, of how to expand things. You just come around and you reinforce things and you energize things. And suddenly, there's a push to the next level. Because there's an energy that happens when information flows. Information are like mental electrons. The same way these electrons flow here and they power this building now. Information are invisible traces of energy That it enters you, and before you know it, you keep on moving to the next level. If you must move to the next mix from extra to ordinary, I'm rushing so that from questions I'll answer some things. From ordinary to extraordinary is that we must be action-oriented. So today is like the foundation. Keep on building on the curriculum. Action. I want you to live here being what? Get going. And look at the story. No dream. Someone say, I have a dream. No dream gets done until you wake up and start running. It remains in the realm of the dreamland until somebody wakes up and start what? Running what? The dream. God looked at Abraham in Genesis 13 verse 14 to 18. And the Lord said unto Abraham, after Lot has separated, lift up your eyes from where you are, northward, southward, eastward, westward, for all the land which thou seest, I will give unto you and your seed forever. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that it cannot be numbered as the dust of the earth. Then shall thy seed also be numbered. He said, arise. That's the word. After all oh Lord, I've seen the north. I've seen the south. I've seen it. Wow. They are coming. They are coming. After you finish it, he said, arise and walk through the land, the length of it, the breadth of it, for I will give it to you. And Abraham removed his tent. Now, what is tent? Tent is limitation. Abraham was inside the tent, 4x4. So, for you to now go northward, southward, eastward, you must remove the tent. Nobody removes your tent. Tent is a mental thermostat that limits us from operating to the next level of life. Once you hit that thermostat, people shut down. I normally analyze it this way. When we put in an air conditioning system here, and you set it at 24, and the outside environment is 32, it will kick off and start fighting and working hard. The moment it comes to 24, comes to 23, it trips off. That's thermostat. When the heat starts going up again, there's nothing that will make that thing to be on at 23 degrees. So you see some people, it is only when they are in lack, landlord is disturbing them, they will now wake up. Now let me work hard. The moment they pay the rent and have extra 10 million in their account, nothing more. You are calling the baby and forget it. I'm very okay. Mental thermostat. Meanwhile, somebody has a net worth of 68 billion. In any currency, and the person is still waking up 6 a.m., 5 a.m., and rushing to do something because in the person's mind, that is nothing. Mental thermostat. And listen to me. Some people use religious statement. I am content. What is the definition of contentment? That's why I don't like that song. I am content with what I have, little be it or not. Why should the contentment be about little or not? Godliness with contentment in greater. What is contentment? What is contentment? Is a Solomon not content? What is contentment? What is your definition of contentment? You must design yourself to have dissatisfied satisfaction. I am grateful for where you kept me, Lord, but God is saying, even where you are now, there is still much more land. When was the last time you sat and you built a 100 bungalow, 4-bedroom, and gave it out to the homeless? Some people have not even captured. Some people have not even captured. Do you know some people don't even believe that they own a house? All their prayer points are, God, help me to pay rent. Help me to pay rent. If I just, God, if you've done everything for me. And can I tell you the truth? God will never bypass your desire to give you beyond what you desire. Say, the desires of the righteous shall be granted. And God is not intimidated by, what do you call big? No, what do you call big? Look at all of us here, 8 billion of us are only in one planet. There are enough planets to give each and every one of us 100 million each. That is, each of us to own 100 million planets. There are enough planets in the universe that you will own 100 million Earth. 100 million Earth. And God is not perturbed. He kept all of us in one. And you are intimidating him that 4,000 square meters of land for your house is big. Tell somebody, remove that thermostat. Remove that thermostat. Remove it. I want to suggest to you, dream like a fool. Dream like a fool. Dream to the point that even you will be telling yourself, You decolo. You just look at yourself in the mirror. Nah, this is your dream. Well, you decolo. If you have not come to that level, you are not a dreamer. Look at Joseph now. He said, the stars are bowing to me. That's why the brother said, here comes the dreamer. let us kill him and see what becomes of his dream. You guys were around and your sheets were bowing to me. You must sound as if it's out of the world. Must sound as if it's out of the world. Don't shrink your life by your experience. Allow your expectation to design your life for you. For the expectations of the righteous shall not be cut off. I say beginning, where you are is enough. Where you are is enough. Where you are is enough. So I say, Abraham removed the tent, the comfort zone, what people have defined you as, even what you have defined yourself as, because you are tempted 10 times. Can I tell you the truth? Failure is nothing. Failure doesn't mean anything. There's no word called failure. I love the book by John Maxwell. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. He cancelled lose. In divine life, there's no loss. If the Almighty God, in the book of Genesis 1, and the Lord God, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, the verse 2, and what he created scattered. And God started again. 7-day journey. I don't know how many days what that 7 days was, but he rebuilt it. The righteous fall 7 times. You fail only once and you are on the floor. And cry for somebody to carry you up. Failure is nothing. There's nothing called failure. It's an illusion. The day you understand it, you are not afraid to attempt anything. What will you want to do if you know you will never fail? What will you want to do? If you know you can never fail in it, you can never fail. What is that thing that you are going to do if you know you can never fail? It's a choice to make. It's a decision. Falling down doesn't mean failing. Staying down is failing. We fall down, but we got up. Several times. The righteous falleth. The righteous fell. The righteous is falling. He did not fall because he was a sinner. He's still a righteous man, falling. But he rises up again. I was listening to Adenuga. They were asking what is one of the biggest challenge you had? He said, when I lost $1 billion. I have the video. He said, when I lost $1 billion. That's why he's a billionaire. When I lost, that's one of his biggest challenge. When he lost $1 billion. Not that he lost, and he's still alive. Somebody just lost 22 million, and that is you have stopped attempting. I will never try. How can you finish paying school fees and you don't graduate in the class? That money you lost was school fees, so you learn how you do not work. People finish graduating, pay 22 million to learn something, and you run away from that class. That's the class you should go. Why sit we here till we die? The question is that as you keep on doing, time is already ticking. You either take action and change your destiny, or remain there and let life catch up with you. Let life not meet you stagnant. Life should meet you in motion. I normally say that living things move. Let it be that life meets you in motion. Not stagnant and you are wailing and crying and hoping that one day, somebody somewhere, and before you know it, you start blaming everybody around you. You blame Tinubu. If you finish, you blame Ababio. Finish Ababio, you blame, which other one is the speaker? You blame them. You blame Wike. Because that road he just crossed made me now and I could not get a shop. The prices of shop went up. You blame everybody. Before you know it, you come and blame Abishop. Before you know it, you come and blame me. He came to Abuja. Before I came to Abuja, you've been in Abuja for 12 years. I just came just 1 month. See, how am I now the cost now? So he came to Abuja now. He's just doing program. I don't have time for anything. I see that all this while you have not been going to program. Do you have time? You have time. Now because spoken words always look for attention. I have no man. I have no this one. Everybody is the reason why. Nobody is the reason why you are not doing anything. No. Nobody is the reason. You need to own your destiny. Can I tell you the truth? Do you know if you live here now and just meet somebody along the road, stab the person to death, your life will be changed forever. One drastic action can change your life forever. Before you know it, the next 20 years, you are not yet out of prison. Before they finish the case, and they now say death sentence, even before the governor will now sign another, they will just leave you. That is just knife now. You just go out to the street and just kill someone. Your life will change. So why not take a positive, drastic action that will change your life? That's the thing. Take one drastic action around your life that will alter the trajectory of where you are per time. Stop normalizing mediocrity. Stop normalizing backwardness. Stop normalizing things that you should not normalize. I keep on challenging some of us that are part of the church family. When will your offering on a Sunday be ₦1 million? Have you ever dreamt of it? Then you begin to take action in that direction. Not everybody can think on that way. Nobody will. When will your offering come to 10 million? 10 million naira offering on a Sunday is 520 million naira a year. There are people that earn that money weekly. If you check average of their income. 520 million in an offering a year. There are people that it is their weekly earning. In this nation, in this land, in this Abuja. Yeah. One of my friends, he bought a house. They gave him, his friend bought a house. Himself now bought. His friend is one of the neighbors, one of these owners of one of these tech companies that we use in payment, the payment platform. Friend bought the house. He himself now bought the next one. They gave him a discount from his friend's own. You know the discount? 300 million. That is, the discount that they gave for a house is 300 million. You should now know how much the house is. Quietly. So the question is that don't get into that level. Take one drastic step and your life will be better. Please don't fall into, if you must take action, don't fall into the trap of perfectionism. Nothing perfects before it is done. Things perfect as it is being done. Do you know when Henry Ford manufactured the first car, there was no reverse gear? They never conceptualized reverse. It was when they finally parked the car, they saw that, man, is that that's when they now started working on how to put reverse gear. When they manufactured the first car, there was no wiper. It's people that now manufactured, thought about wiper, and they kept on adding and adding and adding. The first Facebook page is not what it is today. It is as you keep on running with the vision that you keep on perfecting. One of the reasons a lot of people don't get off the ground is that they are waiting to perfect. I love how Kiyosaki put it. If you must build wealth, jump off from the plane, build your parachute on your way down. At that level, it's either you fly or you fry. When there is no option, the reason why you are saying there are options. You say I have options. If plan A doesn't work, plan B, and plan C. You even have to plan H. So that's why you can leave A, B, C, D and go to E, F, G. So we have multiple soft landings everywhere. Put yourself under the pressure. If it is going to work, it's got to work. In Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 4, Amplified Version. He who observes the wind and waits for all conditions to be favorable will not sow. And he who regards a cloud will not reap. So if you wait for perfect condition, you will never get anything done. New Living Translation. If you wait for what? Perfect condition. I'm just observing this electioneering period. Let's just allow this electioneering period to be over. At least let's settle. I mean electioneering period 2027. Let's allow it. Everything when the dust of this election, they have entered campaign season. Let it settle. Then after that, when they finish campaign season, they just entered into office. By the time let them stabilize. Government is still very, very erratic now. Let them stabilize before we can now talk. Before you know it, another election. You don't wait for perfect. That's why in God's calendar there's no tomorrow. It is now. Salvation now is a certain time. Faith now. Faith is now. God has no tomorrow. Now, he looked at Gideon, thou mighty man of valor. Now. He said we will change in a moment. Change happens what? In a moment. I remember, I think I shared that testimony. I've already harvested the rice, and now use it to expand my rice. my rice this thing. Last year, there was this kind of erratic nature in weather. August period, and we need to do some rice broadcasting. And I've already soaked the rice, and the rain was not coming. Man, I slept that night, and the scripture came into my spirit. Genesis 26, and Isaac dug a well. I said, wow. I called my guys early in the morning. I said, we are going to water the whole plot. There's this kind of embankments everywhere. So I got this machine that will fetch water, put inside bucket. We were watering and moving around, watered the whole place and broadcasted the rice. Watered again. Before you know, it rained. So if I was waiting, let's wait. The rice I have soaked that has already started sprouting will die. And I will lose a lot. Let's wait. Here, observing the cloud. I was not observing the cloud. And I harvested bags upon bags. Miracles are worked. Miracles are worked. The gift of working on miracles. Miracles are worked. Live here this year and go and work miracles in your life. Work miracles. So you cannot actually, as an individual, be action-oriented if you are indolent. Indolence means proclivity for laxity or laziness. Incapacity to take action when you need to. If you read Joshua chapter 18, verse 1 to 3, he said, and the whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled together in Shiloh and set up a tabernacle of the congregation there, and the land was subdued. So which means if the land is subdued, what do you go now? Take dominion. Subdue, take dominion. The land was already subdued. But the Bible says, and there remained among the children of Israel 7 tribes, which had not yet received their inheritance. Meanwhile, the land has already been subdued. And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, how long will you slack to go and possess the land, which the Lord your fathers had given? So it is not that God is about to give. He had already given. Don't put off anything till tomorrow. The fourth mix for extraordinary living is that you must be energetic. Can I tell you the truth? You can never create wealth a melancholy. You can't create wealth a phlegmatic. Where you are laboring over decisions. Should I go today? Should I say yes? Should I say no? I'm thinking, and every moment they're trying to push you. No, wealth moves in the direction of energy. Wherever energy goes, wealth is created. Some of you in real estate, wherever people put energy. Suddenly, I remember someone was telling me, is it my time or whatever it is, that if some people they dash them land, they won't even agree. There's my time, that's bush now, what are you doing there? But as men move the energy there, suddenly, value of the land rose. The land did not change in texture or anything. Wherever men move energy, you were telling me about your area. There are people swamp, or people bush and other. Suddenly now, men move the energy there. So it simply tells you that wherever energy is, wealth is created. So whatever you are doing, that's why I say, whatsoever your hand findeth to do it with all your might. Do it with all your might. Do it with all your might. Let everybody around you see that you're energetic in that direction. Get excited about life because greatness is in frequencies. So if you are at low frequency, your greatness is there. Middle frequency, high frequency. Check every leader in every sphere of life. Every sphere of life. Whether politics, whether ministry, whether business, every sphere of life. They are high frequency energy people. That's the key. So you don't use temperamental difference. So you have to have that energy from within you. Jesus, the Bible says, what for the joy set before him. That was the inner energy, inner strength. He endured the cross and kept on moving. So the question is, you must be disciplined enough so that you can make major changes around your life and drive your life forward. And finally, before I receive questions and we can talk in that direction, is that if you must add extra to your life, be what? Learn how to get along with people. Interactions. Interactions. Whether social interactions, spiritual interactions. Interactions. In Proverbs 18 verse 24, a man that had friends must show himself friendly. And there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. Cultivate the habit of interacting with people. Yeah. Some people visited me, and immediately I got in contact with the guy. I said, what do you do? I asked questions. So the next thing, I'm going to collect your contact. We'll start flowing. You keep on increasing your contact list. I asked the guy, I said, if you scroll you through your contact now, and you need 10 million now, how many people can you call? Can you have 10 persons that can give you 1 million? I don't mean we'll give you first. There are 2 levels of questions. First of all, can give you. Because some people will want to give you, but they cannot. So first of all, you begin with people that can give you. Then after you now distill people that can give you, how many of them will? And so if you go through that list, and they are not, it means that you are living in a relationship drought. You begin to distill the relationship. Begin to distill. And consciously begin to get into the sphere of greatness. Get into the sphere of greatness. I remember, we were growing up in our precise campus those days before getting to university. Because my mom was transferred after creation of the two states, Enugu and Anambra, was moved as a teacher. And we were with her. One of those village schools. There was no physics teacher, chemistry teacher, or biology teacher. I had to study by myself. Thank God, passed and moved into this preliminary course. And we were doing that in the university. We are 2,500 and something candidates. And they said it's only 500 that will be admitted. The other 2,000 and something are going to go home straight. So when I come back, they will say, you are not in another school. I said, no, I'm not in you. I'm not. We'll come out, and some of the guys, we are moving around, and I have a friend, and so some of them came from special science school, military school, Zaria, this top university. I came from community secondary school. Managed to get a couple of A's and a few credits. And by my own effort, these guys, so some of the guys, they were not meeting themselves after the secondary school. So, boy, what was your score? The guy will say 8 and 1. Someone will say 7 and 2. So I told my friend, what is this 8 and 1 and 7 and 2? It means they were scoring A1, 7, and 2 A2. And these are the people that we are going to compete with for a sport into the university. You know what he did? I called a couple of my friends. We are supposed to take 6 courses. They will grade you in 4. 6 subjects, they will grade you in 4. Or is that like a post, whatever. It's the equivalent to JAM those days in the university. Now, so I called them. I said, and me, I had issues with physics. I just got, I think, 6. Physics. So I called these guys, 6 of us. This one from one school, from one school. I said, boy, we are finished here. We better band ourselves and build. The first thing we did, we gathered ourselves, this one from one school in Suka area, this one from here, and we called ourselves the Eagles Gathering. Even though we were like chickens. In terms of the academic prowess, we were like chickens. Because some of them, they will be asking questions in the class that we've not heard. That was the first time I knew the full meaning of DNA. They also had nucleic acid. I said, how will somebody cram this thing? That was the first time you had lanthanide and actinide contractions. I said, for where? Who carry me come here? Because in our school, you just read the little to pass. You don't follow syllabus. Do you have anybody to even give you syllabus? So we started. We shared the course. I took physics, the hardest one that I know that's the hardest one. There was a day I sat in the class and I read for 13 hours, non-stop. I did not stand up. I was eating biscuit and water. 13 hours. Because I was going to read to teach. This time we read chemistry to teach us. So by the time we were looking like chickens, we called ourselves Eagles Gathering. We kept on doing that. But by the time the exam period was coming, the school, course reps of different classes, came and met us and said, please, set mock for the school. We that were like the little ones, set mock. And the list of us was number 50. In the whole 2,500, the list of us. The guy that was highest was also part of our class. The list of us, the one that was the list of us, was number 50 out of 2,500 and something. We came in as non-entities, but we decided to resonate the energy. So you can make a choice to resonate the energy. Bind yourself in a company of greatness. You see meetings that you're supposed to qualify and attend. I've flown from here to different places to attend meetings. Yeah. And I was sharing something about the meeting I was going to do. I had heard about it. Put that in on the slide. I had heard. I'm not doing a mobilization, sharing to people. No. I want a situation where we can build people up. Build people up.